Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Can we take a moment? Take a moment for sports history yesterday. Sports history yesterday. I mean, one of the best performances by the U.S. By the U.S. in terms of soccer. A sport we don't even care about. A sport that literally has less fans than NASCAR. So just let that sink in for a minute. We have more NASCAR fans than we do soccer fans. And we tied Britain. It's their national sport. It's the one sport that they actually care about. How is that possible? How is that possible? What's going on, 407? They literally care more about this sport than anything else. And they literally can't beat us. They literally can't beat us at it. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I mean, come on. Really? I'm sitting here thinking, this is going to be a no-brainer. They're going to run all over us. They're going to destroy us. Easy work. Easy work. And then it's like, what happened? What happened? Apparently, didn't work out that way. Anyways. Hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Next fight, let me look it up for you. That is, I believe, the next fight. Yes, it is. Oh, officially, we can call it soccer. They can call it football. It all works out. It all works out. James Corden has officially been dealt to Canada. The deal was that if we lost, we had to keep him. If they lost, they had to take him back. It was a tie, so we give him to Canada. That's a fair deal. Canada, take one for the team. That's fair. That's fair. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild that we even competed. So can we put Ellen in the deal too? Oh God. Yeah, I'd be fair with that. How's everyone doing? It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. I've been hunting my absolute balls off. There hasn't been too many fights. Bivol did his thing that we all thought he would do. Bivol basically did Bivol things, which was nice to kind of see that he didn't regress after that Canelo win. Nice play on his part. Good part, on his side. 21 Savage is halftime in America and half in England. Shared custody. Yes, that is official, Dana. That is official, I believe. Oh, there you go, Shrek. I wish I could say the same. I'm cutting right now. I am cutting weight right now. I got to get fighting weight right now. So, you know, as you guys know all too well, Discord nuked us. I'm blaming Jake Paul. Officially. I don't believe I can sue him. I still can hate him, though. Which I think is just general par for the course. Drake's Canadian. So he can just go back up there. Yeah, dude. Bivol, yeah. He just absolutely made it look easy, Dana. So, not surprised by the Bivol win. I can sue him, Shrek. He stole my Discord. Which is kind of okay. It kind of works out. It was a lot of work. By the way, Shrek, if you want a nice little experience, hit exclamation point Discord and see what see what it brings you to. Dillian White's a bum. That's the conclusion I've come to. Dillian White's a brawler. He's very limited. You know. We have a new link for Discord on Twitch. Just cause while I was gone, I saw people coming into my chat on Twitch and looking for my Discord, so I had to leave them something. I think it's very fair. You know, so I was getting messages on Twitter. I was, you know, getting messages all over the place. Oh my goodness. I thought you guys would like that one. We can watch the highlights for White if you guys want. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'll get a copyright claim on YouTube. Who cares? It's probably going to be more interesting than this fight that we're going to watch, where literally Fight TV can't zoom in and actually get some sort of I don't care about it. They're fine. They're fine. They'll claim it. That's fine. But it's not going to nuke us. They don't nuke us. They'll just copyright claim it. You know, it is what it is. So, I think it'll be fine. If this gets bad, if this turns into garbage, we'll watch Dillian White's fight today. Because that's fun. Oh my goodness, Dana. Of course they are. They need to all lose weight, all that good stuff. I mean, look. Dillian White's fun to watch. It's like watching Dillian White fight is like fast food. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's not something that you do because it's like high quality. You do it because you enjoy it. That's what it is. Dillian White is a brawler. He has a fun style. He hits people pretty hard. He's not a finesse boxer. He's there to knock people out. Like I said, he's not even like Wendy's quality though. You know what I mean? He's like Burger King. Like you're getting Burger King with Dillian Whyte. It's not the worst thing in the world. They have a Whopper. But it's certainly not like steak. Yeah, it's fast food. It's fun. Take 5 years off your life. You'll probably regret it later. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes like you show up and it's actually better than you expect. That's a Dillian Whyte fight right there. That's a Dillian Whyte fight. You show up and you're like, holy shit, this is way better than I expected. And other times you show up and you're like, this looks nothing like the picture. This looks nothing like the picture. That's Dillian Whyte to sum it up. You know? That's him to a T. Sometimes you're like, dude, this looks amazing. This is a fantastic. And other times you're like, dude, this is trash. They got the C team making my Whopper right now. I don't got A or B team. I got C team making my Whopper. It all depends on how Dillian Whyte, in terms of mindset and training, is doing. And telling him to box his shoulder roll. Yeah, you're never going to see Dillian Whyte shoulder roll ever. Dillian Whyte's meant to brawl. That's what his style is, man. That's just the way he is, and that's what makes him kind of fun. Let's just be honest. That's what makes him fun. If you don't like that, he's not for you. Whyte's a Tinder date. 50-50 between a great girl or a 50-year-old retired smoker Vietnam vet. Pretty much. Either you're going to get catfished or you might meet a real good girl. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I mean, this card's pretty underwhelming. Pretty underwhelming card. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. This could be some fun fights, some throwaway fights. That last fight they had before the main card, not too bad. Holy shit. The difference in Vargas versus Martinez right now in the ring is huge. I know. Fight TV, I can't believe. I thought this was going to be on ESPN initially. And I'm like, how did Fight TV get this card? The card's not great, but like the main event is a really good one. Fun fact, let's talk real quick about ZEPEDA and PROGRAIS, okay? Give you a sense. Vargas is already fucking up Martinez in this fight right now. So, Jose ZEPEDA has lost twice, okay? He lost to Jose Ramirez, who was the champion for a long time until Josh Taylor. Great fight. The other guy he lost to was by a guy in 2015, Terry Flanagan. Okay? So Terry Flanagan beats, in fact, he stops ZEPEDA. Now, if you look at Terry Flanagan's record, which is 36-2, he's also been stopped twice. Or I should say, he's lost twice. Both losses, 2018, twice. Once to Maurice Hooker. This is back when Maurice Hooker could make 140. And the other person, Regis PROGRAIS. And when you look at Regis Prograis, his only loss was to Josh Taylor. So, apples being apples, everything just put on the table. This is looking at pure resume, this is a very even fight. Zepeda lost in 2015 to Flanagan. In 2018, Prograis won against Flanagan. That's not a ton of time, but 3 years in boxing, as you guys know, is a huge amount of time. And this is after Maurice Hooker beat Flanagan. So, okay, that's fine. And then you look at Jose Ramirez beat Zepeda, and Regis Prograis lost to Josh Taylor. So, you're looking at top level guys losing. Every time Zepeda or Prograis have fought top level guys at this level, top tier, they lose against either one of them. This is legit a fairly 50-50 fight. I'm going to lean towards Prograis personally. I think that Prograis, he has a higher KO percentage. You can take that for what you will. I like that they're both southpaw, which will make it really interesting if they step on each other's toes. They're the same height. They're almost the same reach, although Zepeda apparently has about 2.5 inches of reach, which is almost nothing. This is a fairly 50-50 fight. So this is what makes it fun. This is a real boxing fan kind of fight. This isn't like a casual fan kind of fight. They don't even know who these guys are. If they know anything, they're like, oh, Regis Prograis. Wasn't he on that Jake Paul card once? Like 2 years ago? This is a legit boxing fan fight. Either guy could win this. I'm taking Prograis by decision. It's going to be fun though. I think we're going to see some fireworks. Overall. I think that Prograis usually starts pretty quick. He's a good starter. But if Zepeda can adapt and make adjustments like Josh Taylor did, then it's going to be an interesting fight. If he doesn't, it's going to be a Prograis fight. Prograis takes over pretty quick. If you don't start showing him some unique looks, some unique angles, start challenging him every time he engages, he takes over. That's just the way he fights. It's a I'm here to take over kind of mentality. You have to challenge Prograis. That's just the way he fights. So it will be interesting. And I think Zepeda's general style could lend to that. It's not like he's timid himself. So should be fun. Should be a fun fight. As you mentioned, Shrek, yes, I have to agree. Dillian White is not. He's not world class caliber. He doesn't look like world class. He's kind of a joke in a way. Like I said, he's junk food. You know, we have Fury versus Chisora 3 coming up. Guys, can't you wait for the third fight of Fury versus Chisora? Amazing. Oh, Martinez goes down and Vargas clearly winning right now. Shocker. The guy that looks like he's a weight class above is going to win right now. Oh, huge uppercut. It's all over. The next Hagler versus Hurds. Seriously, Fury versus Chisora 3. This fight is so hated by the fans. It's so rare. It's so rare. I go on Twitter and I see boxing Twitter just generally as a collective agree on anything. Seriously, I get the most ridiculously dumb takes, most ridiculous, outlandish perspectives ever when you go on Twitter when it comes to boxing. A lot of times it's absolute garbage. It is the worst of the worst. The most least informed, biggest fanboys ever. That's how Twitter is generally with boxing. But there's one thing that unites everyone on Twitter right now. Fury vs. Chisora 3 is an absolute joke. Absolute joke that we're gonna have this fight happen. And what makes it even worse is that if you're British, you gotta pay like $25 for the pay-per-view to watch Fury beat Chisora. And let me say, if there's one thing that pisses off the Brits more than anything when it comes to boxing, it's not having one of their top level talents come to the US and lose. They're fine with that. That's happened. It's legit the biggest thing that pisses them off is making them pay over $20 for any fight whatsoever. They get livid. They lose their mind every time they have to pay over $20 for a fight. If they're going to pay over $20 for a fight, it better be the best damn fight of their life. I saw people complaining about AJ versus Usyk 2 and having to pay $26. People were losing their mind on Twitter. I can't believe this. We got to pay $26 to watch Usyk versus AJ 2 on pay-per-view. What are you talking about? This is like a great fight. This is an amazing, high-quality fight. The card's okay, but you get Usyk versus AJ. AJ now having a new trainer. This is like a huge deal. Usyk was in freaking combat in the war of with Ukraine. Maybe not combat, but he was in Ukraine during the war. This is the most interesting fight possibly this year. And you're bitching about $26? This shit's gonna cost us $80 over here. What are you talking about? So when Michael Benson, everyone's favorite person on Twitter, tweeted out about this fight being over $20. Oh boy. People lost their damn mind. It was wild. We got Eubank Jr. fighting Liam Smith, which no one cares about. Either one of them. That's a throwaway fight. Which is too bad. Because if Conor Benn wasn't doing PEDs, it would have been a great fight that they could have had. Which is sad. So. Yeah, exactly, Shrek. It's a Smith versus Eubanks is a you only care if you're in the UK fight. Okay, so here it is. The BT Sports UK. I'm going to bring it up right now. Oh, we're going to look at this right now because this is just too good. Too good. Here we go. The official announcement of how much it's going to cost for Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. Okay? Let's look at the comments. It's yet again, every time an American points out this would be $70, they get ratioed. Every time. I mean, it's just the amount of hate, dude, is insane. Smith is a joke. He's the worst Smith. Liam Smith is the worst Smith. Callum's the top Smith. Ooh, good stoppage. All right, next. Let's see what we got going on. Shocker, by the way, that, you know, they made it the most lopsided fights possible. Oh, by the way, did anyone else see what episode was it? There was an episode of Joe Rogan. It wasn't that long ago. It was literally the last like couple episodes he did. He talked about Tyson Fury, and he said Tyson Fury is one of the greatest heavyweights all time. One of the greatest heavyweights all time, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is one of the greatest heavyweights all time. And I think I was raking leaves in my yard when he said that. And I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I threw up in my mouth a little bit when he said that. What is this? What is this crazy narrative? Joe Rogan, what are you talking about? I love Joe. I've listened to Joe for like 9 years. Good guy. He's a great heavyweight. Tyson Fury's a great heavyweight. He's not one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He's not even in the top 10. He's not even close to the top 10. His resume is paper thin. Paper thin. Paper thin. Benavidez versus Plant is a great fight. It's a really, really good fight. There's a lot of fun aspects to that. And I think that that's a fan fight. That's a boxing fan fight. Benavidez doesn't have a huge fan base. Plant doesn't have a huge fan base. That is a pure, like, if you like boxing, this is a fun fight. Talking, what's going on, man? That's a great way to put it. Yeah. That's Tyson Fury's hair. That's his mid 2010s hair. Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. Plant's a really interesting fighter. I never know what to expect with him in the ring in general, in terms of, you know he's gonna put on that classic like boxing style, but I would have never thought he was gonna get that huge knockout last time. I just because I didn't expect the power to be there or be represented. So Plant has a great style. Yeah, I have to agree. He has a great style. He's fun to watch in that sense. If you're a boxing guy and you want to see someone that can move and everything like that, he's awesome. He's just a little bit on, you just never know what you're going to get. And Benavidez is also a guy you don't know what you're going to get based on his general track record. General track record with Benavidez. He's never been a body beautiful at this weight class. We all know that. We all know that. But at the same time, the size of Benavidez is a real thing. And it's very interesting because if Plant gives this is my favorite part about this fight. Favorite part about Benavidez versus Plant. If Plant gives a huge amount of issues to Benavidez, let's say he schools him for like 10 rounds, right? And Benavidez is just having massive issues. Let's say Plant wins. Let's say Plant wins, right? By unanimous decision. The conversation of Benavidez and Canelo dies. It dies. It goes away. We don't have to hear it, man. So that's the interesting part about it. Browns Nation, what's going on, man? Dude, Discord got nuked by Discord. Absolutely nuked by Discord. So they banned our Discord. They took it away. And it's gone. So, Browns Nation, check your whispers, by the way. Keep that on the low. So, that's the biggest thing about Plant versus Benavidez is that it's going to be fun to watch because it's going to tell us a lot. It's going to give us that triangle effect that we love in boxing, which is this guy fought this guy, and that means that if this guy fights that guy, we know what's going to happen. That's a classic triangle situation, man. Classic triangle situation of yeah. Fighter A beats Fighter B beats Fighter C. So if Plant beats Benavidez, then everyone's going to say Benavidez can't beat Canelo. If Benavidez beats Plant, everyone's going to be like, we need to see Benavidez versus Canelo. This needs to happen. It's the most it's really fun in that sense, but it's also like completely mind-numbing. Which is typical boxing fashion. So so it should be fun. It should be fun. In general, I think Plant versus Benavidez is a fight that fight fans want to see. It will tell us little to nothing about how Benavidez would do against Canelo, because we don't know Canelo's current state, but it will allow us to assume and make general predictions. You know how it goes. You guys know how it goes. Benavidez doesn't have a strong resume, in my opinion. Let me take a general quick. I'm pretty sure about this, if I'm not mistaken. Caleb Plant, I think, has a better resume. Biggest problem with Benavidez is he's so big, no one wants to fight him. Be honest. Okay, David Lemieux. David Lemieux's like top level. Anthony Jarrell. So the Jarrell fight, interesting enough, that's where they have the intersectional kind of like, we've both fought the same guy kind of thing. Anthony Jarrell fought David Benavidez in 2019. 9th round KO. Caleb Plant just fought Anthony Jarrell in 2022. 9th round KO. David Lemieux is a big name for Benavidez, but at the same time, David Lemieux is not the biggest name that you could have, really. It was not a great win. And this is back when David Lemieux used to be something, like back in the day. Used to be something, had some good names on his resume. Not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. I mean, generally speaking, both of them have a pretty weak resume, to be honest. I'm looking at their resumes right now. The only edge I will give is that Caleb Plant has been in the ring with Canelo. That's the only advantage I will give to Plant. He did 11 rounds with Canelo. And like a good quality version of Canelo. Top level Canelo. The only thing I can give him, because neither one of them have all that impressive resumes. Neither one of them do. Add in David Benavidez losing his belt for weight, losing it for drugs. Not really a compelling argument to make for him, but he's been fairly clean and he's made weight the last couple times. Kind of. Weight's always been an issue with David Lemieux. David Benavidez. Like, it's been an issue. It's been an issue. He's had to deal with it his whole time at this weight class. Caleb Plant is a much more natural version of this weight class. 6 feet tall doesn't seem like a big thing. Even Caleb Plant's 6'1", quote unquote. David Benavidez is 6 foot. But build-wise, Plant looks very lean. He looks like he can make the weight fairly easy. I say that. I'm sure he does struggle a little bit with it at his, current age of being 30, but still does pretty well. David Benavidez at 25 should not have issues making weight. If he does, like you said, he should move up. He should go to that next weight class. Because if you can't make weight at 25 years old, if you can't make this weight class at 25, you're not going to make it at 30. And you guys know how it works with Canelo. Canelo's not going to fight a 25-year-old kid. If he shows a lot of talent, he's going to wait till you're 20, 27, 28. He's going to wait till you're really struggling to make that weight. Weight train's going to be a thing. He's going to put a clause in that you can only rehydrate to a certain degree. I'm sorry, but these guys are basically even in terms of height. Size-wise, I just feel like Benavidez feels like a bigger guy. Benavidez is taller. Plant is 5'11". Benavidez is 6'1.5". I mean, potato almost at that point. You're talking very little difference there, but physical build-wise, I feel like Benavidez is built bigger than Plant is. I could be wrong, but it just feels that way. Oh, God. The tune-up fight for Canelo is a good question. Who do you guys think? Who do you think the perfect person is for Canelo to fight beforehand? Because that's a great question. Canelo needs some kind of cash revenue. He needs some kind of fight. Everyone wants to fight him. Every single person wants to fight him. But you can't, you know how Canelo works. He wants belts. He wants money involved. He wants something. It's Ryder. Ryder would be an easy one. I know he has that surgically repaired hand right now. In May. I could see that. That seems to make the most sense. Dude, Ryder is just perfect. Perfect for Canelo. If you saw the one time Plant and David faced off, David was noticeably taller despite Plant being listed taller. I believe that. I believe that tall kid. Absolutely. David Benavidez looks bigger in general. He just looks like a bigger guy. I could be wrong. Yeah, man. Discord got nuked. Absolutely nuked. It might come back at some point. I don't know. I have to take the time and remake an entire Discord. And figure out what to do, because it was absolutely craziness. That was the other part of it. Dealing with people not reading any of the rules, not reading how to get verified, and then spamming it nonstop in Discord. And then when they didn't get an answer, popping into my chat, asking me a couple times. It's like, guys, I don't have time for this. If you literally just used your eyes for 2 seconds in Discord, you could figure out everything you needed. We literally had free links, big bold letters, like free fight links, and people just couldn't deal with it, couldn't figure it out. I can't deal with that nonsense. I don't got time for that. So, dude, Parker was beating the shit out of Ryder till he broke his hand. Yeah, that will do that. That will definitely put a little bit of slowness in your game. Dude, 6'1" plant being sus is absolutely. Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia has a very padded record. I like the kid. I should say this. Jaime Munguia. When Jaime Munguia was at 154 pounds, I really liked the kid. The Dennis Hogan fight kind of exposed him a little bit. It kind of made him look mortal. And I was like, that's not good. Like, if you're a Jaime Munguia fan and you watch that fight, you go, oh boy. This is not what I want to see. Then he moved up to 160. And as soon as he did that, man. Always got to have my White Claw. As soon as he moved up to 160, Jaime Munguia looked mortal. He looked very, very mortal. I understand it for his size, his time. I get it. But he started looking, that power, that crazy power everyone loved was gone. And it's like, oh boy. His last fight was a easy gimme fight. I get it. Keep the kid busy. Let him cause enough noise at that weight class at 160. 160 is getting a little bit weak right now. You know? So, T, this is my favorite White Claw right here. Right here. FML. Double hazy IPA. So I think Jaime Munguia right now is at a crossroad because his record, if you look at the kid's record, you're like, holy shit. He has a lot of experience. Why doesn't he have a title defense? Well, because 90% of his fights were fought in Mexico against people that he could beat. I think the kid needs to be tested a little bit. I think he wants some of those big fights. The biggest problem with Jaime Munguia, and it's been his problem, it's been his kryptonite for so long. For so long, Jaime Munguia has a lot of things going for him. He adapted to 160. He looked better. When he first got up there, he looked weak. He looked like he couldn't hang at that weight class. He did a lot better. The biggest problem with Jaime Munguia, he gets hit so much. He uses his face as his defense. He uses the Joe Joyce defense where my face is my defense. I have no defense. I just take everything on the chin. And that's how I win. I win by literally just getting punched in the face. Oh, tall kid, the biggest exaggerator in terms of height ever is, Mike Tyson was always exaggerated. They said 5'11", 5'10". He's not. He's like 5'9". Andy Ruiz, I've seen at being at like 6'2", 6'1". He's 6 foot tall. He's not 6'2". There's no way Andy Ruiz is 6'2". I think Tyson Fury's pretty close to 6'9". I think he's pretty darn close to 6'9". I don't think he's too far off of that. Andy Ruiz, though, is the one that like always pops up every time they give him his height. I'm like, dude, this guy's not above 6 foot. I'm 6 feet tall. I can tell you looking at him, he's pretty close to 6 foot. Fury is 5'7.5". If he's 5'7.5", that means that Wilder is 5'7", or maybe, I'm sorry, 6'7". If he's 6'7.5", that means that Wilder's 6'7" or 6'6". AJ is claimed to be 6'6". He might be more like 6'5". I feel like a lot of these guys, you can just like literally take an inch off because they all get measured with shoes on. Mike Tyson, though. Mike Tyson's a guy that they would say was like 5'11", 5'10". You know? Dude, 407. That was a phenomenally interesting fight because they built it up. They built it way up. And I'm like, okay, well, Adesanya's going to take this. Adesanya's going to do his work. He's such a technical fighter. He's such an interesting guy. I'm not too worried about Izzy taking this home. And Izzy, in my book, when I watched that fight, he won. He won the majority of rounds. I'm like, okay, Izzy's going to take this home last round. And then he got absolutely clocked. And what a stoppage. Some people said it was early. Some people said it was early with Izzy being stopped. I think that was a very legitimate stoppage. Izzy was done. Adesanya was just like ragdolling it, trying to keep out of the way. He was done. Done. And it was a fair stoppage. It sucks because if you're a fan of the guy, I hear you. You know, Adesanya is a phenomenal fighter. Not to take anything away from him, but he was done. It was over. Put a fork in him. He was done. And let's just be honest about it. Let's just be honest about it. Not try to like sugarcoat it. The kid got knocked out. Again, from the same guy. Ruiz versus Wilder, I'll buy that. Oh, T, absolutely, man. 100%. The reason that that's such an interesting fight, especially with Wilder and Ruiz, is there's two dynamics that are really interesting there. One, Wilder is a opportunist. If I can land my right hand, the fight ends, basically. That's just how it is. Ruiz is interesting because he has hand speed and general technique is really good, but he gets hit. If Chris Arreola can touch you, if Chris Arreola can get a flash knockdown on you, and he's 40 years old, guess what's going to happen with Wilder? Wilder's going to touch you at some point, probably. When? How? When or how? We don't know. We don't know when Ruiz is going to get touched by Wilder, but it's going to probably fucking happen. It's going to happen at some point. So the fun in there is, can Ruiz do enough damage to Wilder in the meantime to make Wilder have to change game plans or adapt or possibly knock him out? Who knows? I will say, I see people saying that like Wilder KOs Ruiz. You have to remember the one caveat I will put in there. Ruiz stopped AJ. AJ is not an easy guy to stop. Ruiz got knocked down in the third and hit AJ with a bomb to the temple. He went Bambi legs and Ruiz went after him. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. Wilder is more durable. I could see that. But we also saw what happened with Wilder in the second fight against Fury when he got hit in the temple and he had that giant swelling right by his temple. If you get hit in the right spot, anything could happen. And with that hand speed, I'm going to give her the way I would put it is this, to be honest. 80% Wilder knockout, 20 egg-shaped, and 20% Ruiz knockout. It's going to be a knockout. If neither one of them are going to go in there and just like survive for 12 rounds. That's not going to happen. Someone's going to knock someone out. That's the only way that fight goes. It would be very bizarre to see Wilder maybe get punched out, get tired, and then Andy Ruiz kind of have his way like he did with Luis Ortiz, where he's just kind of not doing jack shit and just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of win, land a couple punches, it's all done. You know. Stuff cinder blocks in his gloves. That's what I heard. I heard he stuffed bricks of coke in his hands. So it's a fun fight. It's a really fun fight. I'm gonna lean towards Wilder though. Like I said, 75% for Wilder in that fight. Just cause that touch of death, man. It's just phenomenal. It's so fun. It's so fun. Wilder, as much as people hate on him for his technique, holy shit, man. He's must-see TV. If he fights, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. White today, I didn't watch it. I watched highlights of it. I watched certain little moments of the White fight tonight. I like White's general style. Not must-see TV, though. Wilder is must-see TV because it could end in literally one round. Oh, Talkin, you must have got some hate for that one. You're a brave soul. r/boxing is toxic as hell. r/boxing is very toxic. Super toxic. A lot of them were okay. A lot of them were agreeing. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Actually, I'm really glad to hear that, Talkit. Just for the sense of like people having some fun with it. I'm watching you mean this fight right now or you mean the White fight? Yeah, I was out pheasant hunting, man. White was must-see TV until he got fat. Again. The thing that's fun with Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, the fun thing about Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia or vice versa is the styles and just the general skill set is still very up in the air, man. It's still up in the air because, like, both guys still need to prove themselves. Both guys do. I know people are going to say, oh, well, Tank Davis had belts, man. He had bullshit belts. We all know that. Ryan versus Tank is super fun because Tank Davis, I will say, probably if I had to say, like, technical boxer, is better. Technically, he's more sound. I think he has a general repertoire that's better than Ryan Garcia. I think he generally can adapt a little bit better, especially if Floyd Mayweather is not screaming at him in his corner. That said, yeah, Garcia has height and reach advantage and very fast reflexes. The only thing I'll say, tall kid, and this is where this could make the difference. Tank Davis used to be the poster child for not making weight, for lightweight division. Used to be the poster child for doesn't stay focused out of the ring. Used to be that guy. Ryan Garcia is now that individual. That's the only thing with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia does not seem like a guy that cares about boxing as much as everything else. Tank Davis has seemed more focused lately, generally speaking. Termination clause, terminating his clause with fucking Floyd, all that stuff. I don't know. We'll see. He looked dedicated. He should have got the job done, man. How did he not get that job done? You know? David, thank you very much, my friend. Glad to see you here, man. Watching cars headlined by EA generated bots. I did hear about Tank saying he wants to be released from Mayweather, and I get that. Honestly, I get that, man. I get it. No, Tall Kid, you're right. You're right about that one. Fortuna, he should have stopped. Ryan, I just don't know what you're gonna get. I just don't know. If he was with, I'll put it this way, Tall Kid. If Ryan Garcia was 100% with Eddie, if he was with Eddie in Canelo's camp, 100% I would pick him over Tank Davis. Now, I don't know. I just don't know about Ryan Garcia. I don't get the warm, fuzzy feelings about Ryan Garcia. Plain and simple. Tank Davis is too dangerous. Tank Davis is too dangerous to pick one and say, this is what's going to happen. I mean, everyone said the same thing. The height, the reach. Leo Santa Cruz. Remember that fight? Remember what happened there? Remember when that happened? I remember because I did a whole video on it, and I thought Leo Santa Cruz was going to give massive issues to Tank because his gas tank's phenomenal. He has the height, he has the reach, he has a gas tank where he can throw 900 punches in a fight. This is going to be a fucking massive issue for Tank because Tank in his last fight against Gamboa threw 400 punches, which is equivalent to a heavyweight. Remember that? Yeah, I thought there's no way that this is going to be a clear-cut kind of situation. And then Tank Davis just freaking showed me wrong with that uppercut and had the best knockout of the entire year, if you ask me. I mean, that uppercut was sweet poetry. Come on. A guy that size with that power is out of control. We all know Ryan Garcia hasn't really been touched all that much. So that's my only case for Tank. That's my only case for Tank. I'm not saying he's gonna win. I'm gonna say he could make it very interesting though. It's my big case for Tank. If he touches you and he's in good position, he can knock you the fuck out. Plain and simple. Shakur Stevenson said Tank's a midget. I will say Shakur Stevenson's a very different boxer from Ryan Garcia, and I do think Shakur Stevenson would beat Tank Davis. That's actually one of those cases where I feel like Tank Davis is at a huge disadvantage because of the style of Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson's very technical, highly technical, amazing defense, utilizes his jab in a phenomenal way. And I feel like Shakur Stevenson is so technical and is such a complete fighter, generally speaking. Maybe not the hardest hitter, but generally complete fighter. I don't think Tank Davis can compete with him. Although Tank still gets that little possible knockout power. There's always that possibility. Tank has that X factor that very few people have. He has that X factor. That's always going to be there. Very dedicated for Tank. I agree with that. I do think Ryan Garcia would be dedicated for that fight, motivated by that fight. I feel like Ryan's upright stance will also allow him to step back and dodge more. Successful. I don't necessarily believe that his stance is going to change it all that much. I think if Ryan Garcia uses his size and space well, he'll do okay. The biggest problem is he relies a lot on that lead left hook, to be that kind of checker, that kind of space barrier. He's not someone like a Devin Haney. Devin Haney has that jab, which controls distance. But Ryan Garcia uses that check hook and that lead left hook a little bit more to kind of control distance, which can be timed a little bit more. That said, Ryan Garcia does have a jab. I mean, depends on how he wants to develop it. I bet you for a Tank Davis fight, he develops that shit tenfold just for that. Devin moving up to 140. I think Devin Haney is meant for 140. He's a big boy for lightweight. Just plain simple. Devin versus Tio. It's been talked about. Tio talked to Devin Haney's father, Bill, and asked for that fight. The problem is that Tio hasn't done jack shit at 140, and he really doesn't deserve that kind of major fight quite yet. I think Devin Haney wants to possibly fight Loma, because I think Devin Haney feels like he can win. And if Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, it's a huge... How can I put this? Beating Lomachenko, if you're Devin Haney, is more satisfying and more gratifying than maybe beating a Regis PROGRAIS, or definitely more than a Teofimo Lopez at 140. And the reason I said that is because Lomachenko's held at such a high regard with a lot of hardcore boxing fans, and he has such a hardcore boxing fan base, that beating Tio brings nothing to the table. He brings nothing to the table. He doesn't have a belt. He has no real big accomplishments at 140. He really doesn't bring much to the table. So if you're going to take a risk, right? You have Tio, who brings nothing, and you have Lomachenko over here, who's not even the proper size for lightweight. He's 5'6". And Devin Haney's jab is an absolute goddamn nightmare for anyone. Devin Haney might have one of the best jabs in boxing right now. The way he uses that jab is phenomenal. Is it somewhat boring to casual fans and to certain fans that want a little bit more action? 100%. No, by the way, I see what you're saying. ZEPEDA to win in the first 3 rounds. I love that, man. Love the bold statement. So, to me, the biggest thing is, if you're Devin Haney, if you want to catapult yourself, you want to raise yourself to a level where you just get absolutely elevated because of your style, based off your talent, based off everyone saying you're a problem for everyone. You don't get that with Tio. You get that with Loma. And Loma is a little bit more questionable at this age. He's a little bit easier to touch, maybe. He's small. Your jab's phenomenal. The way Devin Haney went about fighting Kambosos, where he's throwing single jab, single jab, single jab, single jab, then he starts doubling it up. And then he starts feinting and then throwing double jabs. feinting, then throwing single jabs. Then he's feinting, throwing triple jabs. And he started just doing this combination, this Rubik's Cube of combination of jabs, feints, combination was not by mistake. It was purely by design, and it showed a level of ring IQ from Devin Haney that a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is boring. This is boring." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Are you not watching what this kid's doing right now? The complexity of what he's doing, the way he's implementing it. My goodness." Anyways, that's my general thoughts. I'm huge on Devin Haney right now. And that's coming from a Lomachenko fan. I'm a massive Lomachenko fan. Huge Lomachenko fan. And I still would not sleep easy thinking that Loma wins over Devin Haney. It's just, Devin Haney's a problem. He did look like a crackhead at 135 pounds. He's too big for that weight class. 140, 147 eventually, I think, for him. Tio did not look impressive at 140. I think Haney will look impressive at 140 based on his general fundamentals. I think Shakur Stevenson can easily make lightweight, easily make 140 at one point, by the way. And when Shakur Stevenson starts getting up in weight, everyone's going to have a fucking problem. Everyone's going to have a problem when Shakur Stevenson goes up in weight. That's just the truth. Everyone talks about Devin Haney going up in weight, Ryan Garcia going up in weight. The truth is, Shakur Stevenson going up in weight is the real problem. Because I don't know who beats Shakur Stevenson right now. Like, I just don't know who can beat Shakur Stevenson. I want to think Loma gives him issues. But then I watch Shakur Stevenson fight and I'm like, fucking hell, man. This kid, the kid's special. The kid's special. He has a package that we haven't really seen. I think Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, if we get it at lightweight, different story, Shrek. I feel like Haney versus Shakur Stevenson at lightweight is a very, very interesting fight. I'd pick Shakur Stevenson, I think. Kid's been fighting at 130. He fights at 135. And Haney has to come down. Could be interesting. 140, I think Haney might have a little bit more juice in him, though. Yeah, Haney gives Shakur more issues than Loma. Yeah, facts. Facts. No question. Haney's boring might be showing my casualness, but Haney makes me fall asleep. Look, I'm just saying this, bud, Devin Haney. You don't have to love watching him fight. Look, David, I wouldn't say that's a casualness. I'll just say, if you don't like watching guys, there's a whole reason, to your point, David, there's a whole reason why America basically tuned out of heavyweight boxing during that like 2000 era because of Klitschko. Klitschko was a jab and grab kind of guy. He utilized his jab. He was a very come forward, basic kind of fighter. Very fundamental fighter, but very boring fighter. And most of the US tuned out. Like, completely tuned out. And I will say, if you're a young guy and you're Devin Haney, you're Shakur Stevenson, either one of them, if you win every single fight by jabbing your way to winning, you're not going to win over the fan base to a certain degree. You're going to have to do something more than that. And taking bullshit fights that are easy that you can get the knockout are not going to cut it anymore. People are getting tired of that shit. We want to see you fight the best. They need to fight top level talent. They need to go after people. Yeah, 1-2 hold, 1-2 hold, repeat for 36 minutes. Absolutely, tall kid. And I actually saw someone say that Klitschko did a jab and grab and then he'd piggyback and lay on people. And I was just like, so you mean Tyson Fury? So you mean Tyson Fury? If you're gonna call out Klitschko for that foul of piggybacking and laying on guys, where do you think Tyson Fury got that? I mean, give me a break. So, if you watch Tyson Fury fight Klitschko, this fight that a lot of people love, a lot of people point to, it's a huge, huge fight that people are like, oh my goodness, this fight defines Tyson Fury's career. It is one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life. It is Fury versus Klitschko is possibly the most boring fight I've ever seen that is, for the level of hype and enthusiasm around that fight and the amount of people that point to that fight as career defining, it is one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my entire life. I would point to AJ Klitschko as a better fight. It's a way more fun fight. Way more fun fight. Way more fun fight. You know? To beat the snoozman, you have to put on the snooze fest. So, you know, it's okay to not care for fights that are just boring. Plain and simple, man. That's totally fine. It depends on what you like for fighters, man. Depends on what you look at and what you see in certain fighters. I see stuff in certain fighters that other people are like, dude, you're no, I don't agree with you. You know, it's all personal taste. I feel like people don't give enough credit to Deontay Wilder for his boxing skills. To some people, that sounds crazy. I think Deontay Wilder has a lot better boxing skills than people want to give him credit for. Craziness, I know. I saw people today saying that Dillian White versus Franklin is fight of the year. And then I have to remind them that Estrada versus Chocolatito 3 is fucking coming up in December. And you're crazy to think that. Because that fight's going to be 10 times better than any Dillian White fight he's ever had. Plain and simple. So. Oh, KSI. I fucking hate KSI. I'll be honest. I have a lot of tolerance for YouTube boxers. Salt Poppy, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw the recent Salt Poppy video he had on TikTok. The kid looks absolutely lean as hell. Salt Poppy looks incredible. I was shocked. Shocked. I mean, this guy had a whole body transformation that I could not believe, man. I'm going to put it on screen, actually. And we're going to watch this video. This is incredible, this kid. This kid, let's look at this kid real quick. Hold on. So that's how he used to look. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. That, I know. Let me see if I can find a better video where it's just this is, look at this kid. Look at how good this kid looks. Look how in shape he looks. I mean, he looks like a different person. The kid looks amazing. I mean, his footwork, his handwork, everything, like, this looks like a legit boxer to a degree. And the kid came from, I didn't know anything about him until I started seeing this 210 plus pounds in January 2002. 175 pounds in November. My good, I mean, the kid looks like a different person. Right? Like, maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but I'm amazed. I'm amazed by it. Just the dedication that the kids had. Give me 5 beers. I want to whoop Salt Poppy's ass. Like, good for him, man. It just goes to show, like, I've always talked about the benefits of boxing in terms of health. And it's unbelievable how good this guy looks. I mean, he's lost an incredible amount of weight. Tommy tried to switch. Oh my God. Okay, so Tommy in his last fight looked like dog shit. Tommy Fury looked like absolute dog shit in his last fight. John Fury looked like dog shit, taking his shirt off and screaming at Jake Paul. For the Fury clan, I'm going to call them, they're supposed to be these people that get into everyone else's head, right? They're supposed to be playing, they're the ones that are supposed to be playing mind games. That's what Tyson Fury does. That's what the Gypsy clan does. And instead, Jake Paul is on the side of the ring just talking general shit. and T, props. Jake Paul's talking general shit, and this whole everyone is losing their freaking minds. You guys are supposed to be a part of the real fight game. The Fury family has been part of the fight game for a long time. John Fury, Tommy Fury, you grew up in this. Like, dude, this should not shake you. This should not shake you. Jake Paul shouldn't shake you. Jake Paul shouldn't shake you. If Jake Paul's getting in your head and you're fucking John Fury, I don't understand that. Maybe it's just hype and to like build shit up. Maybe. Tommy, I understand it a little bit more. You can get in that kid's head. That kid can't fight his way out of a fucking wet paper bag. My goodness, is Tommy Fury fucking bad at boxing. Holy shit, is he bad at boxing. I thought a lot of people thought this too. Ramen, when you saw that initial fight, you're like, oh, well, Tommy's gonna lose. This will prove that Jake would have got his ass kicked. And then we all saw the card. And Tommy looked like shit. And Rockman looks like shit. And everyone looks like shit. And you're just like, maybe the guy that's made like $100 million in boxing has a point. Maybe Jake Paul's looked at these guys enough and knew enough that he could beat them. You know? Absolutely, Diego. Absolutely. And I honestly can't wrap my head around this. Can anyone explain this to me? I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. So I apologize. Can anyone explain to me how someone can look at Tommy Fury's record and the people that Tommy Fury has fought and go, he's a pro boxer, and then look at Jake Paul and go, he's not a pro boxer? How? How? Oh yeah, John, he lost his shortest fight. He walked out of the ring. F-By Ajiba just like showed up and he literally, the ring went ding ding, and literally he walked out of the ring and lost. Can anyone explain to me how you can sit there and go, Tommy Fury is a legit boxer and Jake Paul's not? If you're gonna say Tommy Fury's legit, you have to say Jake Paul is. Because Tommy Fury's opponents are garbage. They're trash. I mean, absolute trash. I could beat Tommy Fury's opponents. I'm overweight. I'm untrained. Give me an 8 weeks camp and I could beat some of fucking Tommy Fury's opponents. I know I could. I haven't boxed in years and I could definitely beat. I definitely could beat some of Tommy Fury's opponents. No question. No question. I'll go all Rocky mode, drinking nothing but eggs. I could absolutely do it. So, I don't know. I don't get the mental gymnastics, man. I don't get it. All right, I'll be right back before this terrible heavyweight fight, and then we'll get back at it. All right, I'm back. I definitely think that Tyrone Woodley and Silva can beat them. Absolutely. Tall kid, look, you got a lot of shit for a long time in our chat and in general for believing in Jake Paul. For a long time, Tall Kid got absolutely hammered with people being brutally mean to him. Saying, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, you yada, yada, yada. And now, looking at it now, Tall Kid looks very much more on point than a lot of these guys. You know? Yeah, celeb boxing has a place in this modern era. Truly does lack the soul of traditional boxing. Diego, absolutely. Don't give Tall Kid power. I said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. But no, I'm being honest. Tall Kid took a lot of shit for Jake Paul being someone he said, hey, I see something here. You started at the bottom, now you're here. as Drake would say. But legit, you saw something, Tall Kid, and said, hey, this guy has potential. And I'm watching this and I'm watching that, and you always kind of presented yourself as as, hey, this is what I'm seeing. And a lot of people were pro Tommy Fury for a long time. I think that's died down quite a bit now. After his last fight, oh boy, gone. This is the guy that left the ring. That's right, Browns Nation. That's right, brother. Dude, you got it right. This is the guy that left the ring. This is the guy that literally got in with a Jabba and then literally left. But a lot of people were on Tommy Fury's bandwagon. And I remember I got hate on Twitter to prove your point, Tall Kid. I got hate on Twitter when I said Ben Askren's more well known than Tommy Fury. I said that Ben Askren's more well known than Tommy Fury. This is before the Ben Askren fight. Because Ben Askren was an actual champion, actually had a fan base, like actually competed at a world level, and Tommy Fury was known in the UK for doing a trashy dating show. And the amount of UK small-minded individuals that came at me, and I mean brutally came at me, and said, you don't know what you're talking about. Tommy Fury is like world known, was insane. Leon, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Was crazy. The amount that came out to defend him was insane. Leon, check your whispers real quick, by the way, on Twitter. I'm sorry, on Twitch. Speaking of Twitter. So it was just like one of those things where like people were very much like, oh God, yeah, this is the deal. It's hardcore Tommy Fury knows 100%. He's so well known. He's so popular. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he is not. He's not. And Ben Askren. Ben fucking Askren, man. We're not talking about some schlub. We're talking about Ben fucking Askren. I mean, legit champion, was one of the most talented wrestlers. Right? Like, shit. Defended Tommy's resume saying, at least he's boxed boxers. Took so long. Dude, talking. If I had a dime for every time I heard that, I swear to God. Oh, Leon, I got you, brother. Don't worry, man. All good. Oh yes, I did go hunting for a month. Okay, so let me just really, I didn't know that, dude. See, perfect example. Ben Askren getting a shout out. So I'll tell you guys what happened real quick in a very quick segment for hunting. I went up north. I went about almost 4 hours north, right by the Canadian border for deer hunting. I set up and I went in, and the very first morning I had a deer walking in, but it was too dark. Couldn't see it. So I couldn't, it wasn't even legal shooting time at that point. So it's like, okay, it is what it is. Then I just wait. I'm sitting there. It's cold. And I see a doe off to my right. She's milling around, all this other stuff. Can't shoot her in this GMU, which is Game Management Unit. Can't shoot her. I'm just like, this is bullshit. I go up the next day. I see more does, and I can't shoot them. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is getting old real quick. So and it's just the way it is. Like in certain management units, you can shoot does, other ones you can't. So I have my rifle and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to change this up. I go down south and go back home and drive about an hour and a half north so that I can start shooting whatever I want. But I have to use a shotgun now. Wolf, what's going on? Wolf, hit me up on Twitch real quick. I gotcha. So, I can't shoot does. I have to now shoot. I can shoot whatever I want, but I have to use a shotgun. So I was like, okay, well, I've already trained for this. I know what I want to do. Done. Problem is, when you get closer to the major cities where I was, it's everyone and their cousin shows up. So it's like pickup truck, pickup truck, pickup truck, pickup truck, pickup truck. Everywhere. So anyways, I can't do anything about this. I have to deal with all these guys. And it's just a nightmare. I mean, an absolute nightmare. So I eventually find this one area that I already knew about. The old Discord got deleted by Discord. So I end up finding this one area. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. I eventually find a spot that works out. Carl, you know, yeah, I hear you, man. You've been around for a while. Oh, shit. Huge knockdown. So anyways, hold on. I'll get back to it. Okay, so I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, one morning, I get up and I'm like freezing and holy crap, I have to pee. So I'm sitting there. I pee. I get done. I look over. Boom. There's a buck right there. So I grab my gun. I pull up on him. I'm thinking, oh, you're dead. He's not big. He's like kind of smaller. But he's done. I got him. Pull up, all on shotgun. So it's just bead sights. Pull up on him like, I got you, I got you, I got you. He goes by and he starts walking and I go, meh. Classic trying to stop him tactic. He keeps walking one or two steps more. Brush right there. I'm like, oh shit, I can't shoot him. Like there's nothing clear. It's just like pure garbage. He keeps walking. I go, meh, trying to stop him. I eventually just like, he's gone. He starts turning away and starts going up the hill. I'm like, you're done. You're done. And he just goes up the hill and he's gone. I'm like, fuck. I hunted my ass off a couple more times. I was sitting in negative. I was sitting in whether it was like 12-degree weather or eventually I sat in -4-degree weather. -4-degree weather for 4 hours. And no deer walked by. It was miserable. But it was very humbling. I figured out some locations I want to try next year. And one thing I did do today I went pheasant hunting. And I tried out a location and there was no birds whatsoever. Oh, another knockdown. Harper's such a fucking bum in this fight. And I then went to a new location and I heard a bird. I heard a rooster fucking calling. I got to hunt that for a while. That was super fun. Couldn't close the deal, but you know, we got people from all over, especially because Twitch we got 10 people from Twitch here, so it's quite the mix. So it was fun. And I'm gonna be hunting pretty much every weekend now for the next 3 months, but I won't be taking days off until, I don't know if I told you guys this. Big news. Hold on. I gotta do this. Big news. Huge news. Massive news. Biggest news. My wife's pregnant. So we have baby number 2 coming on the way for late February. It's a boy. So now we're going to have 2 boys. We have a 3-year-old and we're going to have a new baby boy late February. So apologize if we missed some fights and I'm not streaming late February. But that's the news I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for the support. We have some new boxing fans, some new hunting fans coming into the order. My son already is like super excited. He loves boxing. He's already having fun with boxing. So, well, John, the best thing is that didn't happen because of Valentine's Day. So number one, our first kid, there's a joke in the hunting community. You guys ready for this? There's a joke in the hunting community that if you if you end up having fun on Valentine's Day, that it will screw up your hunting in October or November. And that came true for me. My first son is born October 16th, right in the middle of bow season. So number two, I was very, very careful with, and he's late February, so it doesn't screw up any of my hunting. We had to make sure it wasn't a total collapse. Do you know where the Adams fight is? Oh, dude, let me get that for you, huh? So, yeah, it was fun. Esmond, I think he fought already, dude. I think he already fought. Sorry. We're getting to the deep main card at this point. So yeah, baby number 2 on the way, late February. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Let me tell you, kids will change your fucking life. Be careful, boys. Be very fucking careful, okay? Because I'm just gonna be very real about this. Diapers are very expensive. Your time goes away. It's gone. Poof. It's like a dandelion in the wind. Poof. It's fucking gone. It's no more. It's gone. Okay? So be very mindful of where you put your dick. Okay? So, oh yeah, no, it's gonna change my son's life for sure. He's 3. He thinks he's king of the castle right now. And it's gonna fucking totally rock his world. It's gonna rock his fucking world. You have a 9-year-old, Leon, you know exactly what's up. But it's just one of those things, man. Dude, the amount of diapers you go through will blow your mind. When they get a little bit older, it's not too bad. Formula. Oh boy. Leon, you brought up, yeah, formula is fucking crazy. Shrek, go Google a thing of formula. That thing's gonna last you like a week and a half if you're lucky. It's like $40 a week. Just for formula. Oh my God. Thanks, love. I'll think of inflation and the economy state of the world next time I go to a glory hole. Fucking hell, man. Sean. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a real thing. And then don't even add on top of it. Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna get a little tiny personal with you. So COVID happened and my son's now like delayed. Jose, what's going on, man? Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Slightly delayed in terms of speech and everything else because he had everyone wearing masks around him. And that's very common for what's going on right now with kids of his age and what was going on during the pandemic. So he's a pandemic baby, and they talk about this. Like, the mask really screwed up his generation in terms of speech development. So I get the glory of spending $750 a month on just speech therapy. I get the glory of spending $300 on developmental garbage. That's literally does nothing. $1,000+ a month on stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. So with a kid, expect $6,000. With anything else, diapers, expect crazy money per month plus formula. If your kid's at all speech delayed, they always present it as, oh, it's free. We have the services and everything else. And then it turns up to be a $700 bill per month. It's fucking wild. So just always keep that in mind. Oh, it's all good to pinning shit. It's all good. So kids are expensive. Be mindful of that. And I will say this. The one thing I will say, you young guys, tall kid, Shrek, I know you guys. You guys are younger. Find yourself someone that's ride or die. Okay? Find those girls that are ride or die. Because they're going to say, I want a 6-figure guy when you're in college. And I want this guy to be 6 feet tall and all this other bullshit. Find yourself a ride or die chick and hold on to it. When my wife met me, I was a janitor at a gym. I was making $11 an hour. I was a janitor at the gym. I had no special qualities other than my education. I knew where I wanted to go. And when she met me, she's like, this guy's really cute. I like dating him. She had to make a choice between, hey, going back to the West Coast or staying in Maine. She stayed in Maine. And I got a job at Timberland as an intern. And then I eventually got a job at LL Bean full time. And then I eventually got a job at Olakai on the West Coast. And I started making substantially more money. And now, in the last 3 years, not to boast, but in the last 3 years, I have tripled my salary. And my wife gets to be a stay-at-home mom and buy whatever she wants. Oh yeah, Puma was my initial internship. This was after Puma. Puma was my educational internships I had to do. So I did Puma, then I was a janitor. I worked at Jimlar for a little while, and then I worked to Timberland, then LL Bean, then Olakai. Now I worked at a small company in Colorado, which some of you will remember. And then now I work for Target. I tripled my salary in 3 years, and my wife gets to do whatever she wants and spend on whatever she wants. PP size matter? Not so much. It's the motion of the ocean, my friend, not the size of the boat. Keep that in mind. Plus, if you don't got a packing, you're not packing something serious. Get really, really good with that tongue. Start doing exercises. Figure out what she likes and do that. But seriously, my wife met me when I was a janitor. My wife met me when I was a janitor. She stuck with me this entire time and watched me grow and become part of that whole system. She took jobs she didn't want to take so that it would help us. And then I hit my peak in terms of what I wanted to do career-wise, and now she gets to do whatever she wants. The problem is for you guys like Shrek and guys like fucking Tall Kid, all these bitches want you to have that six-figure salary, advanced kind of here you go, end result, before they even go there. So that's the problem. And I see that on TikTok. I see these girls that are asking for guys with six figures that are 22 years old. And it's crazy. It's wild. They literally are talking about six figures, 250K, $500,000 as being normal for them. And they want it, and they're 23 years old, and they're them fucking nothing. They bring nothing to the table. Literally nothing. And that's what they want. And it's like, yeah, that's 1% of men in the US. You're a Twitch mod. You're all set. Fucking hell. Okay, so we gotta watch this chick fight. Do you guys instead want to watch the Dillian White fight? I already have it. The highlights from Dillian White. It's gonna be at least half of this chick fight. I think it's better off if we do that. So, anyways, that's my big speech for you guys is ride or die chicks, the girls that are with you from the beginning, they're the ones you want. The ones that expect the end result without being there from the beginning, fuck them. Fucking hell, man. If the girls I dated knew what I would end up with. We'll do Dillian White fight. Let me get this set up. Highlights. It's highlights, but it's 10 minutes. Leon knows what's up. He's been there. He's been in the trenches. He knows what's up. Wait, can you guys hear this or no? Hold on, let me get this set up. Okay. You guys should be hearing it now. Okay. Dillian White fight. Well, Shrek, I'll tell you this. I got out of a long-term relationship. And I met my wife on New Year's Eve. I didn't even expect it, and it turned out to be the best thing I ever did. So, it happens. Let it happen. Just let it be natural. Don't even try to push it. You know, have fun with it. You're young. Have fun with it. Well, that's what I'll say. Look at Anthony Joshua. You guys see Anthony Joshua right here? He's very interested in this fight. He's sitting next to Eddie Hearn right now because everyone knows this is a big fight for Dillian Whyte.
Joined us down at ringside once again, and some
huge fight for Dillian Whyte just to be active.
That jab to the body is a very, very educated shot. He's not taking anything stupid so far. He's not rushing.
Remember, Dillian Whyte's a brawler, man. He loves to bang.
But he's got to once again look out for Dillian Whyte's counter left hook, which he knocked pretty much everybody out with that shot.
He does look a little bit depressed. I think AJ in general is recovering mentally quite a bit. Oh, big shot from Franklin. Good shot from Franklin. Good body work from Whyte. I do think that Whyte has a little bit more. Round 5. We skipped to round 5. If that tells you how the rounds went. I would not at all disagree with that because Dillian Whyte's style matches very well for AJ. If Franklin can get through the guard, guess what? AJ's gonna get through the guard, especially if he's with, you know, Garcia as his coach, because Garcia made AJ look even better for that Usyk fight. So much better. AJ looked really good, man.
Now Franklin's wanting a bit of time. Now he's starting to complain with a body shot, with a low blow.
AJ looked a lot better for that second Usyk fight, and that's because of Garcia.
That poker face he had in early rounds is slowly.
Garcia in his corner was a really big thing. I thought it was really smart. I thought it was a very interesting take. I didn't expect that. But it worked. Clearly, something worked there. Landed. Whyte's already losing in terms of landed in the 5th round. Franklin doing some good work with that jab, straight body shot, beautiful. Dillian Whyte, sluggish as always. Dillian Whyte, man, I want to love you, man, but Jesus, when you do what you're supposed to do, it's rare. But I mean, he is a hard-hitting heavyweight. I take it back. I take it back what I said earlier. Dillian Whyte's must see. You have to watch Dillian Whyte fights. I just didn't because I was pheasant hunting. The last airbender, kinda. Dude, tall kid, Google Mr. T. It's a Mr. T haircut. A-team haircut. Mr. T, A-team haircut, 100%. Clubber Lang back in the day. yeah, man. Classic. That is a great hairstyle, though. I will say Franklin right now, Rocky 3, number 1 best Rocky movie ever. Easily best Rocky movie. Christian, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Tonight we are drinking FML, and we're doing Sam Adams Winters. as the other option. No, okay, Rocky 4 is number 2. Rocky 4 music is not as good as Rocky 3. I did a whole thing on this. Rocky 3 has better music and better setup and better story and better acting. Rocky 4 has a better villain. But the music is not timeless.
Huge round from Franklin there. That's the first time Dylan's really felt any of Franklin's shots.
Ninja Unicorn, I can't always find it. That's the big deal. Oh, good body shot from Dillian White.
The one he landed not to finish, but to trouble Joseph Parker and floor him. The one he landed to finish Derek Chisora in their rematch.
I also, Shrek, to be fair, Ninja Unicorn used to come in a 4-pack, and now I drink half as much. So I just buy singles now. I know, disappointing, but half as much beer. So I just buy singles. Dude, Heart on Fire does not last nearly as timeless as the classics from 3. The music in 3 is so good, dude. The deal with dude, I like Modelo. Modelo, though, isn't 9% alcohol. That's the problem. Every one of these are 9 to, this one is, 9%. 9%. So I drink 2 9% and I call it good. So that's the only thing. I do like Modelo, though. Modelo's a great beer for just like chilling, relaxing, watching soccer where America ties with Britain. One of the greatest soccer matches ever. Dude, Dillian White hammered the shit out of Franklin in the 12th round. Franklin, big props to him. His stake goes way up. Take tequila shot every 2 beers. Dude, Leon, I respect the fuck out of that. Hell yeah, man. Messy fight, though. Dude, 0-0 is a win for USA. Dude, oh my God. I have a method to it. I love it. By Modelo. Hell of a finish right there. Cream, not dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a nice round of applause out here for both.
They had a tied scorecard by one of their judges.
After 12 rounds of action here at Wembley, London, England, we go to the judges' scorecards. Michael Alexander, 115, 115, a draw.
Oh.
Gregors Melenda and Jurgen Langos both scored this bout 116 to 112 for your winner by majority decision. Dillian, the body snatcher. Wow.
We all saw that. So, Dillian White gets it. He gets the nod. This should have been a warm-up fight. This should have been easy peasy, lemon squeezy for Dillian White. I mean, this should have been No problem. Franklin actually has a good chin, though, by the way. Looking at Franklin's resume, the biggest name on his resume, just so you guys know, is Jerry Forrest from 2019. Jerry Forrest